Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another video. This time I wanted to make a quick, well, I don't know how quick it is now that I think about it, but I wanted to make a video showcasing a bunch of my books that are have like a horror or a horror-ish cover. Not necessarily Halloween covers, but I wanted to make this video right around the time of Halloween to put out something for the holiday. But most importantly, I wanted to dedicate this video to our friend Dr. Von Chilla, who just had a birthday a couple of weeks ago. So this is for the good doc. I know he would, and I think he would really enjoy some of the covers and some of the books that I've chosen for this video. So anyway, let's get started. I got a bunch of books to show. Here we have Hand of Fate. I forget what number this is. I think it's like Hand of Fate 9 or whatever, because the number's not on the actual cover. But Hand of Fate, really, really cool cover. Fate is carving this lady's name on the tombstone, and she is, uh-oh, what does that mean? Really cool. Moving on. Even though this is not a horror book, it has a horror character on it. I believe this is the first appearance of Frankenstein in the Marvel Universe with X-Men number 40. Here's one of my favorite House of Mystery covers. House of Mystery 208. With Death standing at the cemetery entrance. Here's another House of Mystery. We have House of Mystery 209 with a man digging a grave, but uh-oh, right behind him seems to be the Grim Reaper. Here is House of Secrets number 127, playing a game of pool with death. Another House of Secrets. This time it's House of Secrets 125. Really cool cover. Almost reminds me of that movie Cat's Eye. You remember that movie that came out in the early 80s? Where there was like this, it was by Stephen King, where this cat was traveling around the country to try to get to this little girl who was played by Drew Barrymore, to warn her of some sort of danger. That's what it reminds me of. I love coffin covers just as much as I love mummy covers. Well, here we have House of Secrets 113. Now, everything's just, you know, all the books I'm showing, they're not following like any real order. They're all like mishmashed and, you know, all over the place. So pay no mind to that. House of Secrets 105. I showed this in my latest comic book haul. I love that cover. And I mentioned a few moments ago, mummy covers. Love mummy covers. And here we have House of Secrets 108. Okay, moving along. A werewolf cover with Vault of Evil, number 1. I think I could do a couple on this. Here's another great book. Oh, great cover, rather. War is Hell, number 9. I know Dr. Von Chilla would love this book. He ought to. He's the one, he's given me this one. The Demon, number 1. Beautiful, beautiful cover. And here we have a great Jack Davis cover in Creepy number 1. A lot of people love the Creepy magazine. And again, I've showed this before. This is not the real book. It is a facsimile of the book, but nevertheless, still a great looking cover in Eerie Comics number 1. It's supposedly the very first horror book. Supernatural Thrillers number 5. Swamp Thing number 1. Awesome Bernie Wrightson, right? Strange Adventures 205. First Dead Man. I'm just going to be shooting some of these off. I'm not necessarily going to tell you what they are other than what the number is. Showcase number 55. Great cover. Evil Ernie number 1. And I kind of like this one better because Lady Death shows up on it. And, you know, who doesn't love Lady Death? But Evil Ernie, number 3. Oh, excuse me, number 2. Sorry, I don't have number 3. I like this cover. It's nothing spectacular, you know, when it comes to value of the book. But Mask of the Phantasm, number 1, based off the movie. I just love the way it's drawn in the background with the Joker laughing and the Phantasm looking very, very ominous. So I like that. I love this cover very much too. It has a creepy look to it, but really, really cool. Classic Neil Adams, right? Neil Adams, Detective Comics 400. We're going to continue on with some detectives. Well, at least for this one. Detective 402 with, I know I said this before and I'll say it again, I think this is Luther Manning's, one of his favorite covers. You have a lantern on it, so there you go. Patrick really likes those. I like them too. I never paid much attention to them until he started telling me why he likes them. But lantern cover, the moon, man-bat. Some may argue a better cover than Detective 400. Here's a great cover by Infantino. Batman 189, really, really good. And of course, one of my favorite covers of all time. Cover swipe of Detective 31, Batman 227. Even though this is technically a Halloween video, but it's, how can you not have Batman 237 when you're making a Halloween video of comic covers, right? Well, I guess unless you don't have it, right? Where do I want to go from here? Let's skip. I'll show a couple of slabs right now. Like I said, everything is out of order, so please forgive me on that. House of Secrets, number 92. Of course, we all know what this is. Great Bernie Wrightson cover. Classic, for sure. Here's another classic by the one and only Neil Adams, Batman 232. Great cover. I love the greens on this. And green's not really one of my favorite colors, but I just love the way it's used on this cover. Mixed in with the black and the red and all that. And I'll show this slab right here. The Crow number 1. I fortunately had the opportunity to meet James O'Barr and had him sign this several years ago at the East Coast Comic Con. All right, I'll show more slabs in a little bit. Let's get to some more books. So raw books, rather. And of course, we're going to get to some books, right? We have Marvel Spotlight number 2. Great werewolf cover, transformation cover. We have Marvel Spotlight number 5. Ghost Rider introduction, right? We have Tomb of Dracula number 1. Another great Neil Adams cover. Neil Adams is all over the place in the Bronze Age. Classic after classic. John, I know you're going to love this one. Unfortunately, I don't have too many Gil Kane books in my collection. I really have to change that. But here's one of my favorite covers by Gil Kane that I own. Amazing Spider-Man 101, which is also the introduction of Morbius, if you didn't know. Another great book. Another great cover, I think. Tomb of Dracula number 10, First Blade. We have another slab right here. I think that this is a horror type cover, or horror-ish, right? Tales to Astonish 27. I love this cover. Just love it. I think it's a little underrated, but it's terrifying. I think it's very terrifying having giant ants. Well, they're not necessarily giant ants in the story. Hank Pym shrank himself down to ant size, but still, you know, having been dragged into like this insect hole or whatever, pretty creepy. All right, now let's get to the good stuff. I love this cover. I told you how for those that saw when I first showed you this in a haul, this was on Instagram, and I said, oh, I got to have that cover. It's World of Suspense. What number is this again? I don't remember. It's World of Suspense number 5. I love this one right here, right? This is my favorite. It's almost like the Amazing Spider-Man 4 where it was, the cover was cut into panels. You have something going on here, something going on here, here, and here. This is my favorite. This is just so creepy. You probably can't see it too well unless I give you a close-up. The Men in Glass. What the hell's that about? Pretty cool. This is the second appearance of the Crypt Keeper. For those that don't know, Crime Patrol number 16. Is it overly creepy? Yeah, I think it is. You know, couple gets home, you see that it's raining, storm outside, and she's moving into the room, and you see this grisly hand reaching out to turn on the lights or to shut off the lights. Pretty cool. That was a book I upgraded this year. Here we have classic werewolf cover, Jack Davis werewolf cover, and Tales from the Crypt number 46. How could I have gotten that one wrong? One of my favorite Walter Horror covers, Vault of Horror number 13. It's the second issue of the Vault of Horror. Pretty cool vampire cover in Tales from the Crypt number 36. Let's see if I could squeeze another one on here. And here we have Frankenstein again. Tales from the Crypt number 34. Let's get these out of the way. Tales from the Crypt number 21. Classic Feldstein cover. I love it. This book is one of my favorites in the Tales from the Crypt run. I think this is my actual favorite in the Tales from the Crypt run. Tales from the Crypt number 23. Great cover, another great Feldstein cover. Guy trying to escape a mausoleum, and it almost has that Return of the Living Dead Part 2 feel, where they're in the mausoleum and all of a sudden the zombies started to come, the dead started to come back to life. Pretty cool. Some argue this is one of the best covers done by Feldstein. Another zombie cover. It almost looks like the same zombie from this one. He gets around, but you gotta be careful. You know, he made his first appearance in this issue. This issue's gonna go up. But anyway, classic cover by Feldstein. Feldstein had a lot of great covers, not just in Tales from the Crypt, but just anything that he did in EC, whether it's weird fantasy, weird science, whatever. Okay. Vault of Horror number 35, classic Johnny Craig cover, and All Through the Night. Huh. Talk about a classic werewolf cover. Go no further than Tales from the Crypt number 35 by Jack Davis. Another great zombie cover by Johnny Craig, Vault of Horror number 28. I think the story's called Till Death. Let's see if we could top that. I don't know. What do you think? Tales from the Crypt number 37. You think this can top that last zombie cover by Jack Davis here? Maybe. Who knows? Let's throw a couple of slabs in before we get back to some raws. I've been losing track of how many books I've been showing. I don't know. One of my favorite covers, Tales from the Crypt number 40. This is a cover that grew on me over the years. You know, when I first started getting into Tales from the Crypt, I sort of looked at this cover and I was like, I was kind of passive to it. But then as time went on, I'm looking at it and I'm really digging it. I mean, no pun intended, but really enjoying this classic Jack Davis zombie in the seashell or whatever the hell that thing is cover. Another one of my favorites right here, Tales from the Crypt number 22. It said damn zombie again. He keeps showing up. Actually, maybe this is the first appearance of that zombie. Anyway, Tales from the Crypt number 22. One of my favorites. One of my favorites in the Tales from the Crypt run. All right, let's show some more raws. I got some more here. Crypt of Terror 17, the very first issue of, well, what would be known as Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt number 33, the origin of the Crypt Keeper, mummy cover, Frankenstein cover, can't go wrong. Crypt of Terror Crypt of Terror 19, another zombie cover. Really cool, love it. This is another recent addition to my collection, Vault of Horror number 37. In my personal opinion, the best hanging cover in EC. There's been quite a few of them, but I think this one's the best. Another one, thanks to Alex the Comic Book Hoarder. He helped track this one down for me. Really nice copy of it too. Two people going into the catacombs. Look at that, the way Johnny Craig, another lantern cover for you, Luther, Patrick. Lighting up the skeletons that are all standing or in their little niches along the walls. Really cool. I think this is my favorite mummy cover. I've said it before. War Against Crime number 11. You know, even though it says it's a crime book, it's full-blown horror when it comes to this cover. I love this cover. And again, it's not necessarily a lantern, Patrick, but, you know, something that's illuminating the darkness. Really nice. And I think this one right here, Haunt of Fear number 15, which is the first issue of Haunt of Fear, this really is Halloween. You know, this is like opening up the doorway to Halloween. Inside you have what appears to be a witch. Some say that is the Vault Keeper. It might be, but whatever. You got bats. You got witches. If you don't think this is the old witch, well, then you have a witch right here stirring her cauldron. You have bats. You have witches. You have ghosts. You have skeletons. You have wherever the hell this guy's supposed to be. I don't know. You have a coffin with presumably a zombie coming out. This cover is Halloween right here, in my opinion. And I have two more. I saved some, well, everything is according to opinion. I like this one a lot. Torture, Bondage cover. The Vault of Horror, number 12. This is the first issue of The Vault of Horror. Not a real easy one to get, but not overly difficult either. And of course, I have to save this one for last. Is it the best cover? No, but it's one of my favorites. Crime Patrol, number 15. First appearance of the Crypt Keeper, but pretty cool. The guy's watching TV, sees what's going on. Uh-oh, the phone line, the cord was cut, and someone's sneaking in. Well, same thing's happening to him, because the phone line cord is cut here, and someone's coming through the door. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed picking out. I mean, I still have a bunch of other horror books in my collection, a bunch of other Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horrors that I didn't show. I just didn't want to show my entire collection. But I think I narrowed down on some really, really good ones in my collection. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And again, Dr. Von Chilla, this is for you, my friend. Take care.